first like to introduce Monsignor. He's the head of the Ordinariate, Our Lady of Walsingham. Monsignor. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much for being here today.
At all.
Could you tell me a bit about why you're here today and why it's important that Christians stand up for life?
Well, it's very important to remind people of this significant landmark of just how many lives have been lost since the Abortion Act was passed. And I think we've just got to keep reminding people, because I suspect it's something that most people just don't want to be told about, and they'd rather put it to the back of their minds. I mean, we know that so many people in the country would like to reduce the weeks to which abortion can take place, and yet we don't get much notice of that. There's not much media attention to it. We hear more about decriminalisation, and that's really in my view, such an awful thing to happen. I'm really interested that when sadly a pregnant woman is killed, they always talk about the death of a mother and her baby, and yet other times they'll talk about a fetus. They must decide which it is. And I think we really have to put forward the importance of the dignity of the human person, the sanctity of life, both from the beginning of life till its natural end. And I think it really begins, that respect for the dignity of the human person and the sanctity of life begins at conception. And I think every life is important.
Thank you. And how can we minister to the people who are experiencing wounds from abortion in our society?
Well, of course, many people, priests will tell you that in their life they've often have women who come forward to make their confession because they felt terrible guilt about having had abortion. And the church, is very forgiving. We're not going to judge people at this point. We say abortion is wrong, but somebody comes and feels we want to help them to try and get their life back together again. And of course, we've got other organisations like the Good Counsel Network and lots of others who will help women who do not want to have an abortion to try and find some way that they can continue their life with support, and that's really important.
Thank you. And finally, do you have any words of encouragement for Christians who perhaps struggle to speak up on the topic of abortion?
Well, I can understand why they don't, because it's very difficult to be countercultural. But the whole of the Christian faith is actually countercultural today. I think it's difficult to describe our country as a Christian country anymore. So we have to stand up for the faith. And that's going to be more and more difficult as years go on. But we just need the strength, and we will get the strength if we do it, to be witnesses to the gospel. And this is part of that witness to the gospel, the importance of the human life for which our Lord died.
Thank you for your witness as well, and thank you for being here today. That was Mgr Keith Newton.